This call is now being recorded.
So in this video, we are going to look at how to install WAMP. Okay, WAMP is a software that's required for development of web application. It supports PHP, MySQL, and HTML. Okay, so first of all, to install the WAMP software, you may need some prerequisites. Okay, like for example, if you're running your system on Windows, then in that case, you may have to install what is called as a Visual C++, okay, redistributable file. So to do that, you have to go to Google, type in Visual C++ redistributable, and the first link or second will take you to the Microsoft web page, where it will ask you to select the appropriate file and download it. Okay, so this is the Microsoft page, and depending upon your system, you may have to install the Visual Studio. If it is a 32-bit system, then you install x86. If it is a 64-bit system, then you install x64. Okay. But this step may not be required if you have already installed Visual C++ in your system. So in that case, you can skip the step. Okay. Now, how to know whether your system is a 32-bit or a 64-bit? So if you are running Windows, then go to My Computer. Okay, right click on My Computer, select Properties. So once you do that, a system information page will be shown. So under this, under the system header, you will see that system type is 32-bit operating system here. Okay, so if it is a 64-bit operating system, then in that case, it will show 64-bit operating system. So this means that my system here is a 32-bit system or x86. If it is 64, then your system will be x64. So you are supposed to install a 64-bit software in case it is 64-bit operating system. Okay. Now let us go back to our browser. Okay, so let us download the WAMP server. So to download the WAMP server, type in WAMP in your browser. So the first link itself is of WAMP server, so you can click on that. So it will take you to the WAMP server page. So under this, you can select the download. So it will take you to download. Now, as I said, depending upon your system, you are supposed to select either a 64-bit system or a 32-bit system. Okay, so mine is a 32-bit system, so I'm going to select 32. If yours is a 64-bit system, you are supposed to select 64, okay, or x64. So here I'm selecting x86. Okay, you click on this, it will open up a window where it might ask you to give some information, but no need to give that. You can simply click download directly, and it will start the download of your WAMP file. Okay, so in case if it takes to another page which is for SourceForge, okay, here you can see that it's available. So simply click on the download and you can get your software downloaded. Okay, I've already downloaded the file, so I'm not going to download it again. So I have downloaded it on desktop. So here it is. So you will find your file in the download folder, okay, wherever you have selected to download the file. Now let us start the installation of WAMP server. So start by double clicking on the downloaded file. So it will ask you to run the file. So select run. Okay, give some permission and the installation wizard is going to appear. So select next. Okay, as you can see here, it supports Apache, MySQL, PHP, and there is PHP MyAdmin, SQL Buddy, and Xdebug. So these are all the components of your WAMP server. So select next. Okay, and I accept. Give some input. I accept. and select next. Okay, so this is the location where where your software is going to be installed. So mine is getting installed in C drive. Okay, and it also shows the space that is required. So here it is around 414 MB, means minimum 500 MB disk space is required in your system. Okay, so if you don't have space in C, you can install it in some other drive also, but I recommend you to install it in C drive only. Okay, so click on next. So if it has a folder, it will create automatically. If it already has a folder present, then it will ask you to overwrite. So just give overwrite and then continue. So if you want to create a desktop icon or a quick launch icon, you have to select these two options. So I don't want that, so I'm going to click on next and then install. So it might take around 1 to 2 minutes, depending upon your system speed, to install the software. So the installation is almost done. Okay, suppose if in any case your installation does not get installed properly, then I believe it would be mostly because you might not have installed the Visual C++ distributable. Okay, so you need to follow the step that I mentioned earlier in order to ensure that the software installs properly. Okay, now this window that is popped up, it is asking you to select your default browser, right? So by default, it will be Explorer, Windows Explorer. So you can simply click on open, and the default browser is going to be Explorer whenever you are opening up your web application pages. Okay, but I don't want Windows Explorer, I want Google Chrome. So I will select Google Chrome by going to program files, Google Chrome, and then Chrome. Okay, suppose if you have any other browser installed, for example, it might be Mozilla Firefox, okay, or Opera. So any browser, if you want other than Explorer, then you need to select the folder where the installation of that browser is, and then select that application or the browser and click on open. Okay, so that will complete the installation process. So once the installation is completed, it will ask you to give some input. Okay, like for example, here we have kept SMTP as localhost, and it is asking to give your email ID. No need to give any input, no need to change anything here. Simply click on next, and it asks you to finish the setup and launch the WAMP server now. Okay, so if you click on finish, then it will start the WAMP server. Okay, if you observe at the bottom right here corner, a W sign W is appearing. So W is the sign of the WAMP server, and if it is green, then it indicates that all the servers are up and running. Okay, so if you click on this icon, then you will be presented with the menu where you can see there is localhost, my projects, PHP my admin, www directory, Apache, PHP, MySQL. Right. So all the things that were supported on WAMP server have been listed here, and this is how you can get access to those. Okay. So my projects will actually have your projects saved. Okay, like whenever you create a project, so all those projects are going to be listed under my projects. The www directory is where your project files are going to be stored. Okay, PHP admin is where you can get an access to your DBMS, which is MySQL. Okay, and to stop and start Apache related Apache related terms and PHP related terms, you can access these menus. Okay, so important here is PHP myadmin, www directory, and localhost. Okay, so if you click on localhost, so it opens up your browser, which is Chrome in this case, and it will show you the WAMP server page. Okay, so in the WAMP server page, it got some system information and server configuration information along with access to other things. Important here is your projects. Okay, important here is your projects, where you can observe it will list down whatever your projects are. Okay, so whatever projects you have created, so those things will be listed under your projects. Now, how do we create our projects? Okay, so to create our projects, once again, go to the WAMP server, click on the W icon and select www directory. Okay, so this is where you can create your projects folder. I've already done one. Like I have created a project called as DBMS project. Okay, so if you want to create a new one, click on new folder and create a new project. Okay, so I'll give this as DBMS project 1. Okay, so you can create any projects like this. All right, so I've already created DBMS project, so I will use that only. So inside that folder DBMS project, you have to dump in your files, project files. Okay, so right now let us create. Okay, I'll just delete this and create a new one. Let us create a new file for our project. Okay, so to do that, let us open up a text document. Okay, let us open up a text document and double click on that. So it will open up Notepad for us. So let us type in some HTML code. So as I told already, we will be making use of HTML to create our pages, and we'll be using PHP to make a connection with the DBMS server, right? So we'll use the HTML code here. So HTML/HTML, you can do the same. Okay, no need to worry about what exactly it is now, but once you understand HTML, you will be able to analyze this code as well, right? So I'll just type in what should appear on my page. So I will put, this is the first page of the project. Okay, so this is the first page of the project. And now I'm going to save this file. Okay, to save this file, use save as and select all files. So then I'll give the name of the file as first page.php. Okay, the extension is php, right? So I'm saving that file. Remember, you have to select all files if you are using Notepad. Okay, otherwise it will save it as a .txt. So don't do that. Select all files. Give the name of the file followed by the extension .php. Okay, so now save the file, and as you can observe, two files are there. The first one was the text document that I used, so now it is not required because I've already created a file. So I'll delete that. So now I have my first page. Okay, so one page has been created for my project, right? So it does not have anything, it just contains some information, that's it. But this is the first page of my project, right? Now how do I run this or open up this project file? Okay, so once again, let us go to WAMP server and select localhost, right? So when I select localhost, I'll get this page, and as you can see here, we have two projects, right? So one was DBMS project, which was earlier present. Another one I created newly to show that this is the project. Okay, so now I'm going to click on DBMS project, right? So it has to open up the file, but if it doesn't, then in the address bar, type in localhost. Okay, so in the address bar, type in localhost and then /dbms project. So press enter. See, now it shows the index where it has the pages. Okay, so like for example, you can observe here, it shows first page.php. So this was the page that I created. So if I click on this, okay, so as you can see, whatever code I had written, based on that, some information has been displayed. Okay, so this shows this is the first page of the project, right? So now if I want to make changes to this page, right? So what I need to do is I need to go back to that folder where my uh, file is. For example, here it is present in www folder dbms project. Okay, so right click on this, and then you are supposed to select a program to edit. Okay, now as you can see here, it is not showing any editor as such, but if I click on open, then it will ask me to select a program. So I can select OK, and I can select any of the program that is present here. Okay, but what we can do is, to make our job easier, we will install one more software, okay, which is called as the Notepad plus plus, right? So we will install another software called as Notepad plus plus. So to install that software, once again in Google type in Notepad plus plus. Okay, select downloads, Notepad plus plus. It will take you to the download page. So download any latest version. Okay, so once again, depending upon your system, you can install either a 64-bit or a 32-bit. Okay, so I'm downloading the 32-bit version of Notepad plus plus. Right, so it's asking you to give the location of the download file. So I'm going to download it on the desktop itself. So the download is complete. Let us install the software. Okay, so go back to the desktop or wherever you have downloaded the file, double click. It will ask you to give the permission. Okay, so select OK, next, I agree. Once again, destination folder supposed to be C. Need not change this because it does not occupy much space. It's around only 10 MB. So click on next, next. Okay, if you want to create a shortcut, you can select this option. If not, click on install and it finishes the installation. Okay, so once the installation is completed, click on finish. So the notepad opens up. So this is the notepad plus plus interface, where you can open up your PHP file or HTML file or any type of a file for editing. Okay, so this is basically an editor, at much advanced editor than the notepad, which is by default available in Windows, right? So now let us go back to our www folder. Okay, so WAMP, so www folder, so go back to dbms project. Okay, so now let me right click, and as you can see, as I right click, it has an option already showing edit with notepad plus plus. Okay, so click on that, you will open up your file using notepad plus plus. Okay, so as you can see here, it is much better to edit here in notepad plus plus than in regular notepad, right? So now I want to add something. Okay, so this is the first page of the project. Welcome to the right. So I'm just giving some information, right? So we'll talk about HTML in the later sessions, but now I've just added extra thing here to my page. Okay, now to see whether whatever changes I have made has been updated or not, you can go to your browser again. I've already got that page here, right? So this was what I had before I made any changes. So if I click on the refresh button, so it should show the updated information, right? So like this, you are supposed to create pages of your own for your project using HTML and PHP, and then you are supposed to use MySQL to create your database and interact with it, right? So we'll talk about HTML and PHP later, but right now, let me show you how we can access our MySQL page. Okay, so to access our MySQL page, go to once again WAMP server, select WAMP, and in that go to PHP myadmin or select PHP myadmin. So this is one of the way to do it. So select PHP myadmin. So it should open up this particular page, which is your MySQL PHP myadmin page, right? So this is the interface using which we can create our databases or even run our SQL queries. Okay, so I'll show you more about PHP myadmin and MySQL database later, but this is how to access your PHP myadmin or MySQL page. Okay, now there is one more way to do it. Like for example, as I already showed you, uh, click on WAMP. Okay, go to localhost. So it opens up this WAMP server page, right? So at the tools section or in the tools section, as you can observe, there is access to PHP myadmin. So if you click on this, it will take you to the MySQL page. Okay, so this is how you install WAMP server and uh, get access to all the things that WAMP server actually provides. Okay, so I would like you to install this, try this out, and install your WAMP server and be ready for the next session. Okay, thank you.